Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have the perfect recipe for you if you want to impress somebody for your Halloween dinner. We're making pumpkin gnocchi with sage butter. Let's go! And here are the ingredients. You're gonna need salt and pepper, some freshly grated Parmesan, some ricotta cheese, some pumpkin puree, flour, and an egg. And for the sage butter, you're gonna need some butter, some olive oil, and some sage. Alright, we're gonna start off by making our gnocchi. We're gonna combine our flour with the pumpkin puree, the ricotta and the Parmesan, and the egg. I'm using homemade pumpkin puree. I bought in Hokkaido pumpkin because that's my favorite. Diced it up and put it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit for about 20 to 30 minutes depending on the size. I also added a little bit of canola oil. Then I took it out and let it cool down. I put everything in a blender, and I'm doing that because first, it tastes better, and second, Germany doesn't have pumpkin puree in a can at any grocery store I've ever been to. Season everything with some salt and pepper, and then mix it until well combined. Knead it until the dough is not sticky anymore. You might need to add a little more flour. I sometimes have to do that too, depending on the moisture in the pumpkin you're using. And I've also noticed that it depends on the humidity outside whether or not you need to use more or less flour. Alright, the dough is ready. I'm going to take a piece, dust it with a little bit of flour, and then I'm going to stretch it until I have like a very small and thin sausage. So what I'm doing is I'm basically stretching it and rolling it out with my hands going back and forth. Take a knife and cut them into small gnocchi. Try to cut them somewhat similar. If they vary too much in size, some will be done cooking while some still need a few seconds. We want them to be done at about the same time. Take a piece, and if you do have a gnocchi board, which they use in Italy to form gnocchis, go ahead and use it. Otherwise, I'm just going to use my fingers and the palm of my hands to form them a little bit. Instead of the gnocchi board, you could also use the back of a fork to give them their signature look. I just like mine to be even. I know every Italian is gonna hate me for that now, but that's just the way I like them. They're kind of oval looking and not perfectly round. And, by the way, if you don't want to use pumpkin, you could also go more traditional using potatoes instead. Alright, bring a pot of water to a boil, then take your gnocchi and put them in the water until they float to the top. That's when you know they're ready. Be careful when adding them to the water. Nothing hurts more than burning yourself. I'm speaking from more than just one experience. In the meantime, also heat up a pan, and then we're going to add our butter and olive oil. We're using both butter and olive oil because of the flavor. It is a pretty cool combination. The olive oil adds some bitterness and a little bit of spiciness, while butter adds a hint of sweetness. It also gives a rich and creamy texture. And here's a fun fact about me. I love olive oil, but I just can't eat olives. They're just too much for me. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments down below. Take your gnocchi and put them in the pan with the butter. So here's what's happening now. The gnocchis are going to absorb the flavors of the oil and butter and also get a little crispy on the outside as we're frying them. Then we're gonna add our sage. And let that cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. Sage and pumpkin go pretty well together. Adding the sage leaves to some hot oil not only makes them pretty crispy, it also releases their aroma. And that happens pretty quickly, so keep an eye on them. We don't want to burn them. And here they are, my pumpkin gnocchi with sage butter. If you've liked this video, please smash a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.